The culture said Akufo-Addo was running a criminal enterprise. Ononya Mobi no bebuye. Obase boys medidina boys. Your father be generational wealth.
Okay.
It takes one fool to steal. Now setting up the entire family. Obia unyopa unya jumada. You know, that is what they believe in those things. So on the stage you see a binom papa by year. Some leaders in this country some years ago. Mama didi huwa besine ama ebinum ehunsu sanso no kwasan the bl00dy president so you should understand the mindset. One person will steal for a generation and they get away with it. Confession to Magdi Kankato say unhunyansa bi ewom. And you see the mistakes are MPP Edanadi in opposition, explains why they failed as a political party. Sometimes basic rational decisions that a party, a government, leaders are supposed to make. These are basic. I said, school you know, say 1 + 1 2 me faha me pia. They were getting those things wrong. But because they were full of themselves, because they were so arrogant, they felt so they were on top of the moon, so untouchable, very intelligent and ubia. But then for instance, a political party are going to election. In the history of the country, Obiano are going to election will suffer such a humiliating defeat ever in the history of this country. You pack your bag and you go to the grounds and say, "May thank you to thank you for that." It's not as if said the defeat was even marginal. What lose you to the stand say in the history of this country, a bin see that say a political party under this Fourth Republic will suffer such a. When you pack your bag and say, "Me go thank you tour," I was thinking they will go for something like a reconciliatory tour, where you go and amend the crack on the basis. Then corner, almost at the time, candidates not see the omochi. I will be on a faction on the ground. Knowing this, I dream more mutu say I way and far camera near chile and because. And some amount for back you cannot predict, especially when amount for no mudia chile no or be at Haman or mudia chile. And a camera DH video. Unfortunately, you saw the banter between Abronya and Yefe. Mr. These are two people who have been running verbal diarrhea. Omubio Monua, the Baba Bian and the Musa. You saw the embarrassment that went on. Banter. Wait, and people were saying this thing. There's a political party that is saying, you're losing election. We are going to the base to build the party up. It ended, say, you will be sick. And you see, this is the culture our party. Don't forget the answer na Akufo-Addo be the president. Party office, okay. You were branch in the similar faction. Pinche party office, way boys, and you want second yekuno. So, I did the violence. Abaye a signature and they characterize the current MPP that we see. That is why the last time I was telling you, her party number and intellectualism has been sacrificed for idiocy. Nipa na omunim say nipa we na near free nim dia woni tie de omobomba boaye no look at Akufo-Addo government boache ajakon alancha manten hwan these people were deemed enemy of the political party and quote unquote very idiots. Omokasa we no, they were the very people who had power and chance to rise to political prominence. So I know they didn't call major. You have a stronghold of the MPP. You saw people who were leading the political party. Obiena no kasa say obi say ofri wura mu banche kasa boom. But this is the time a government ewo power amount for ho chiro mo a you expect reasonable minds to identify themselves with the pain, the suffering the masses were going through and speak in the language people find solace in the voice. But these people, Chama went to me at some point in time, but you go to Galam say you go back, go to which person on his senses, right senses will do that. At the time, the country was going through economic downturn. The president at the time could not even call him to order because the party became so lawless to the extent said, Adia, your friend is saying, Nyansa, basic things. Now you're nipa and that arrogance of power and that arrogance of taking over the stage. So for me, what is happening is not different from what we saw. What we saw was like a movie. Season 1, season 2. Yes, say no. Part 3, part 4 on our position. Okay. And Tokwana Shas, it's not going to end because So we tie Canada Japan some on na no so to gum na. Emotionally, you know, say this guy on sign. The otia not here, say what time nyame, say the otia not here. Because how can you go to a party function and say, and yet democracy and here for crowd me 50% they here for. And you know, him for about video also. And what they don't get in say in a democracy, no, it's not about when you sika kwatena ngura mabina kodu sika. Simple. In a democracy, it's not about money. Africa na ya monetizing the entire political space. So any idiot at all, obenya nsa on sika no think say I can be president. Hey. Being president is never about money, it's never about wealth. It's about being intellectually full. You have vision, you know what you're doing. I didn't see you have at all. Yes. Na nipa I walk us out to me say nyansa ni asem na okan me president and because mo nyasika. Who says sika na the president? Kwame Nkrumah ba Ghana no nya billionaire o. All ko no nya billionaire. Adwen na net time team and no the leader of mine no. It is not about money. So this foolish notion people are creating out there say ma bo me bra wie. Na me say obi a wa bo ne bra wie when the sika no. Don't even come close up a president. Do you know why? Because that person has nothing to lose in case things go wrong. God has nothing to lose. Sure. We want somebody or mine to go wronger. His something is at stake or no, so it will affect him. We need somebody who will take responsibility. What happens? So stop preaching this nonsense of what? And I make us say the poorest person in Accra and Odidi. Ebi akodi di 3 times. The whole Ghana ebi ori na here no, but every day odidi. Kwa baby oti a osere. That person care about millions and ubugati a uchi. Uchi ubugati a uchi no fie. We must begin to respect people. Na you say governance, you know, it's about NIPA. You prioritize human beings, human welfare. If you can't do that and you think you have your money, you're on top of the moon, just such nonsense do not have space. Because on this political arena, you will not survive. Okay. Despite in the business, mo own in the business. What is the way about things about the data? Because they are in their private enterprises, doing what they do. But the very moment you take leadership mantra, Nipa, the Adnam from Kurano can question you as to why you're making this because you can't know mine. Your mind is sick, and you're not the woo or the jow. What I say? And I think that is the concept that we need to preach. So we best take it into a man for a team, never who say, or mine the Nipa the chichere. So, and about me, so I'm so blame when a cathedral, Sika and and I'm saying, that guy, nobody should take him serious because Samra those decisions there because I don't know to China and not to Burkina. At the time Akufo-Addo was making those reckless decisions, we were deemed enemy of the state, anti-government enthusiasts. That is the name they give it to us. Baumia could not even speak. Now you are telling us a few days to election, no more to petrol. Now my men are not to petrol, and my papa not to petrol. So these are cowards. Nobody should take them serious. And for me, I think that they need to calm down. Realize mistakes, how to patch and amend, ego and emotion, those silly way, do not have any space. MPP a serious political party and can come to watch Jakufi, ete. Your friends Alan Chairman team feel trying to bring these people together. So we will move together. This is a party that is ready. Now we don't want to say we will be buying a press conference. Now you are catching fight with media houses and for them. Now political party, we need media house when he will be. If you are very sensible, and we need space in talking or see what it is wrong. I think they are not ready to learn. Arrogance, not taking a larger part of them. It will take time for them for that arrogance to deflate and send them back into their normal senses and begin to behave rationally. And until that, they trust me, they are on a collision course. Until some hate distraction, and nothing will stop them.
Bradley, so I think 4 minutes.
Yo, where the say MPP assembly, say medical can say, and who said so I'm a boy for assembly. The only reason why I'm a cabinet say me the Bema and Chirima at the year for you. Say, will be a man boyni, Yanini Niagro. And the reason why a beer will be a bit DMPPH, because now you know form. I just say, Jimmy, Finimofra Brim, and Penny Forces say, Jimmy say, Ubia Jimmy. The same pra Sebi or your team. What you say? Jimmy Wukun so Ukun anyhow nyansani wo kun krokro but Jimmy wo kun anyhow entino omo nsem no ya na ehu hia me se nka meka bi but se ne be ya ebe yen se na ho ama nchirima so ehu se amayokuo bi eya amamboyefo amayokuo no enu nti na mede ma no to nyesa ka me nka bi kura thank you to ye musa se you can't thank you as a person and nase nti se obi ka se odi maseda ka eche se ma ye bibia ye den ama na me ye ade ne ma no aso nani nti obeda mas meboa okay ti me dwen ho a me hu se thank you to na omo ko no omo hu ni se Ghana fo Jimmy Muli ya ma omo tumi ama omo be wia yen anu nti no mo ba be da yen ya sese ye ma omo kwan ma omo be wia yen na omo duru ho no saa amane no omo ntimi nya kokoduro emmo amane no nkire Ghana fo se mo ma ye kwan ma ye be wia amo no ena ye be da mase cause ba omia ontimi nka se mo ma me kwan ma me de haptel ebe jeje mu prepaid sika die ontimi nka se Jack where are you $2.5 million na owi aye no wabra na app no wo ho dada no ontimi me kan kire Ghana for say app no a na e wo ho dada na me de asase GPS me be dan no funtum mo ye no Jack where are you no minyamu $2.5 million ontimi nka anyina so nka say thank you ontimi nka say e-levy sika na no de ye campaign no enti no order yase no ontimi nka omo na mo ni nyina we are jail candidates including Baomia o ye jail candidate ya omo nyina hu omo ho say enche ora ne nioma ekoso yi no omo nyina be ko jail enti ene me anya ade a ebe ma Ghana for kra be ka say oh ye kra ye political way na afi na John Mahama so tata yen ene sanete de yen ko thank you to na nke ye ka no kra pa wo wi asimpa ade e wo se nka Baomia ono ana nu nsem ono nam kana Japan no anu nsem ono nam omo ye no e wo se nka ayi no to ye omo kwe no komo frɛ no apology to se nka omo ye nyansafo a because Ghana na omo beto ye no o mama Ghana no wa ye mobo dodo ti se de na Akufo-Addo kan ya ye mobo dodo Ghana ye mobo dodo ena ga kupon ya bo ma nya kandifo papa yi no obi ani kapre ba woni botomo but obi anam a utimi se wanya serie bi wonanim chance independence bi aye den aba
1 minute
medi manu si a medi besi ewo menua ken kwasi che da kwansem bi a ode bae na emudu papa o say all we know about the new economic world tells us that nations which train engineers will prevail over those which train lawyers. No nation has ever sued its way to greatness. Richard Lam and Watage, civilization, engineering, engineers, law, lawyers. And you say a bad profession to be a lawyer. But it does not make sense when you are a very lawless lawyer and you have a very lawless lawyers association like the Ghana Bar Association. I rest my case.
Thank you very much.